When McLaren unveiled the original P1 in 2013, it redefined what a hybrid hypercar could be over a decade later. The British marque returns with the 2029 P1 Neo. The name alone signals intent. Neo means new, a rebirth of the philosophy that made the first P1 a legend. This is not a facelift or a special edition. This is McLaren's answer to the next era of electrified performance, built for a world where speed and efficiency no longer stand in opposition. The P1 Neo sits at the pinnacle of McLaren's Ultimate Series, a lineage reserved for the most extreme machines the company has ever produced. By 2029, electrification is no longer a trend in the hypercar world. It is the standard. Rivals like the next-generation LaFerrari and spiritual successors to the Porsche 918 have already embraced plug-in hybrid architectures. The P1 Neo arrives into this landscape not as a follower, but as a statement of intent, limited to just 375 units worldwide. It exists to prove that McLaren can still set the benchmark. This is a flagship, a showcase, and a promise of what performance engineering looks like when combustion and electricity work in perfect harmony. The exterior reflects that philosophy in every surface. The P1 Neo sits low and wide with a stance that suggests motion. Even when parked, the front fascia carries forward McLaren's signature design language with narrow LED headlights that cut across the nose and large air intake sculpted to channel cooling air with precision. There are no unnecessary lines here. Every curve, every vent, every angle serves aerodynamics or cooling along the side. The dihedral doors swing upward in classic McLaren fashion, framing a profile defined by sculpted surfaces and active aerodynamic elements. The roofline flows seamlessly into a rear deck dominated by an adjustable wing capable of altering its angle based on speed and driving mode. At the rear, slim lighting units bracket a full-width diffuser. The exhaust outlets are subtle, positioned high and central, a nod to the hybrid nature of the powertrain. Exposed carbon fiber is visible throughout, from the side skirts to the rear clamshell, emphasizing the lightweight construction beneath the skin. Wheel options include forged alloys in 19-inch front and 20-inch rear sizes wrapped around carbon ceramic brake calipers. Finished in McLaren orange or stealth black, the color palette leans toward modern metallics and matte finish designed to highlight the car's sculpted form under natural light. What drives the P1 Neo is a hybrid powertrain that blends McLaren's twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 with a pair of electric motors. The combustion engine alone produces around 750 horsepower, while the electric motors contribute an additional 350 horsepower, bringing combined output to just over 1100 horsepower. Torque delivery immediate and relentless thanks to the instant response of the electric motors paired with the V8 South broad power band. A 15 kilowatt-hour battery pack provides approximately 25 miles of electric only range, enough for short urban drives without engaging the combustion engine. Power flows through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission designed to handle the immense torque while keeping shifts sharp and predictable. The P1 Neo weighs around 1450 kilograms, a figure achieved through extensive use of carbon fiber in the chassis and bodywork. Weight distribution is close to 40-60, favoring the rear but keeping the front planted through corners. Acceleration is brutal. 0 to 60 miles per hour arrives in under 2.5 seconds, with 100 miles per hour following shortly after. Top speed is electronically limited to 217 miles per hour, though the car feels stable well beyond that threshold. Active aerodynamics play a critical role, with the rear wing and underbody flaps adjusting in real time to balance downforce and drag. 3 primary driving modes govern behavior. EV mode prioritizes electric propulsion for quiet emissions. Free driving hybrid mode blends both power sources. For everyday performance, track mode holds nothing back, delivering maximum output and keeping the suspension, aero, and powertrain in their most aggressive states. What this means in practice is a car that can cruise silently through a city center, then demolish a racetrack without hesitation. That versatility extends into the cabin. The cockpit is intentionally minimal, designed around the driver. With clear influence from Formula One packaging, the steering wheel is flat-bottomed and wrapped in Alcantara, with mode selectors and paddle shifters within reach. The seats are carbon-shelled racing buckets upholstered in a mix of leather and Alcantara, with limited adjustment to save weight, but enough comfort for longer drives. The digital instrument cluster sits directly in the driver's line of sight, displaying speed, revs, and hybrid system activity in crisp graphics. A head-up display projects navigation and performance data onto the windshield, reducing the need to glance downward. The center console houses a vertically oriented touchscreen, roughly 10 inches in size, running McLaren's latest infotainment interface. It includes smartphone integration, navigation with real-time traffic, and access to McLaren Track Telemetry, a system that records lap times, braking points, and cornering forces for circuit work. Climate control, fully automatic, with separate zones for driver and passenger. The sound system is purposefully understated, tuned to deliver clarity without unnecessary weight. Ambient lighting is subtle, limited to functional illumination. Rather than decorative accents, titanium accents appear on the pedals and door sills, while exposed carbon fiber runs along the center tunnel and dash. The overall sense is one of focus. This is a place built for driving, not distraction, yet it is also a place engineered for control and confidence. The carbon fiber monocoque chassis provides exceptional rigidity and crash protection, meeting the latest global safety standards. For 2029, advanced driver assistance systems are present, but unobtrusive adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking are available when needed, though most owners will rarely engage them. Stability and traction control systems have been recalibrated specifically for hybrid power delivery, ensuring that the electric motors and combustion engine work together without overwhelming the rear tires. The suspension uses adaptive dampers capable of switching between compliant and firm settings depending on road conditions and driver preference. Even in its softest mode, the ride remains taut, but it absorbs broken pavement far better than the original P1 ever could. Braking is handled by massive carbon ceramic discs, cooled by internal vanes and supplemented by regenerative braking from the electric motors. The system blends both seamlessly, so the driver feels consistent pedal response regardless of how much energy is being recovered. Visibility is better than expected for a car this low, aided by slim pillars and a wide windshield. A front lift system raises the nose by 40 mm at the press of a button, allowing the car to clear driveways, speed bumps, and steep inclines without scraping the front splitter. The P1 Neo is built for a specific type of owner. This is a car for collectors who already own multiple hypercars, for McLaren brand loyalists who have followed the company from the F1 to the Senna, and for enthusiasts who want the pinnacle of what hybrid performance can offer in 2029. Pricing is expected to start around $2.5 million, placing it firmly in the upper tier of the hypercar market. Storage is limited, but functional. A small front trunk provides space for soft luggage or charging cables, while door bins and a narrow shelf behind the seats accommodate smaller items. Daily usability depends on perspective. Can the P1 Neo be driven regularly? Yes, the electric range-compliant suspension and driver aids make it more livable than many assume, but this is not a grand tourer. It is a focused performance machine that happens to be civilized when needed. Ownership includes access to McLaren's global service network, as well as charging infrastructure for the plug-in hybrid system. Maintenance intervals are longer than the original P1 thanks to improved durability in both the combustion and electric components. The emotional appeal extends beyond the spec sheet. This is a car that represents the closing chapter of the internal combustion era, while simultaneously opening the next. The 2029 McLaren P1 Neo stands as proof that hybrid performance has reached maturity. It combines the soul of a naturally aspirated hypercar with the efficiency and torque delivery of electrification. The design is purposeful. The powertrain is relentless, and the technology is integrated without dominating the experience. McLaren has built a bridge between two eras, honoring the legacy of the original P1 while pushing forward into a future where speed is redefined. If this deep dive into the P1 Neo gave you something to think about, consider liking and subscribing for more detailed breakdowns of the machines shaping the automotive world.